Hello beautiful people, welcome back to my channel. Today we are continuing with the hyperpigmentation series and we're going to specifically talk about Alpha Arbutin. If you're new here, I'm Dr. Alexis Stevens. I'm a board certified dermatologist and my background is in cosmetic chemistry. Please make sure that you hit your notification bell so that you don't miss a single video in the hyperpigmentation series, and please subscribe if you haven't already. I really love the way that The Ordinary has formulated their Alpha Arbutin. Why is this really great for hyperpigmentation? Well, I like to consider it the gentle giant. Reason being is because Alpha Arbutin is actually a naturally derived antioxidant that comes from either bearberries, blueberries, cranberries, the pear tree, so basically the pear skin, and also it can come from wheat. Very little bit is found in wheat. Usually it's going to be the bearberry that is where the Alpha Arbutin is obtained from. It is the gentle giant because it is actually a derivative of hydroquinone. It's very effective at getting rid of hyperpigmentation. However, it does it very gently. It's with that slow breakdown of the conversion into glucose, which is a sugar molecule, and hydroquinone. The fact that it does it slowly is the key here. You don't have any cytotoxicity, which that doesn't happen with Alpha Arbutin. It's actually just a slowing down of that process. It's like an inhibition of the melanocytes developing into melanin, which means that you don't have as much side effects or irritation happening as the byproduct of that. And because arbutin is metabolized in the skin very slowly, it is well tolerated by the great majority of people using it. Less irritation, less inflammation will always make your melanocytes happy. So hydroquinone is considered the gold standard in fighting hyperpigmentation because it is the most well-studied and the most potent anti-pigmentation ingredient to date. However, it does come with a lot of unwanted side effects. The main one that I'm concerned about for my patients is rebound hyperpigmentation. Now, you don't have to worry about rebound hyperpigmentation when using Alpha Arbutin, which is why I love this so much. I know HQ or hydroquinone has been banned in Australia, the UK, the EU, and Asia. However, here in the United States, it's still over the counter at 2%. I personally choose to use other ingredients when fighting hyperpigmentation, one of them being Alpha Arbutin. So it is not as effective as hydroquinone. Let's put that disclaimer out there. However, it is extremely effective, which is why it's still a gentle giant. That slow release of the breakdown between the glucose sugar molecule and hydroquinone is what allows it to still gently and effectively do what it needs to do. So as a natural derivative of hydroquinone, Alpha Arbutin is going to be a fantastic choice for those with skin of color or those who have sensitive skin, who have to be extremely cautious of any irritation or inflammation that can occur. The slow metabolism of Alpha Arbutin when in the skin is ideal. Arbutin is amazing because, like hydroquinone, it is a tyrosinase inhibitor, meaning that it prevents the overproduction of melanin being made in the skin. When you see arbutin, you may see things like alpha arbutin and beta arbutin. Please, my friend, make sure that you get an Alpha Arbutin, like the one here in The Ordinary. The reason being is that it is the most effective and the most potent. Beta Arbutin has not proven to have very significant results in fighting hyperpigmentation. You may actually see the word deoxyarbutin listed on the back of your ingredients. Now, this is a synthetic version of arbutin, which is still safe and effective and has less side effects than hydroquinone. So Alpha Arbutin works on the melanogenesis pathway that we have discussed quite thoroughly in the previous video 4 different ways. It actually works as a tyrosinase inhibitor, but it also inhibits DHICA, which is a really important intermediate step in the process of getting to melanin. In addition, it actually slows the maturation of the melanosome. If you guys remember, the melanosome is something that is actually like the carrier, the transportation that allows melanin to actually get to the keratinocyte. So it slows down that process. And it's an antioxidant. You guys know the importance of antioxidants when fighting hyperpigmentation because free radicals or the reactive oxygen species can indeed cause more hyperpigmentation. Okay, so let's just quickly break down why each one of these steps is really important and how it's going to help you in your fight against hyperpigmentation. You guys recall from my previous video, tyrosinase is an enzyme that is essential in the production of melanin, and melanin is what gives us color. It gives color to our hair, it gives color to our skin, it gives color to our eyes, etc. So the big gun here really is the tyrosinase inhibition. So if you can stop this process, you are essentially stopping the rate limiting step of melanogenesis. Did you know that hyperpigmentation is associated with a disruption of the oxidant and the antioxidant balance? That's why it's really important to include antioxidants in your fight against hyperpigmentation. Alpha arbutin is a fantastic way to do this. Excess reactive oxygen species or free radicals can indeed activate tyrosinase and increase melanin synthesis. This is why it's really important to have a good antioxidant on board to help combat the hyperpigmentation that can be generated from the free radicals on our skin. So the most common free radicals that we come in contact throughout the day are going to be things like pollution and ultraviolet radiation, which is why none of this matters, guys, if you don't have on a good sunscreen, meaning that it is broad spectrum. The reason that the broad spectrum is super important is because oxidative stress is ultraviolet radiation, infrared, and visible light. So that's where the tint comes in when you are looking for sunscreens. Look for iron oxide to be in there in addition to the broad spectrum of UVA and UVB coverage. That way you know you've gotten all of your bases covered, or else none of this other stuff even matters. If you want to up your game even more, why I really love this Alpha Arbutin hyaluronic acid formulation from The Ordinary, they also have one that is combined with 8% vitamin C. This is going to increase the antioxidant benefits even more, because vitamin C, as you guys know, is of course an amazing antioxidant, but it's also really good at fighting inflammation. If you remember from my other video, inflammation is indeed the enemy to hyperpigmentation. This is because inflammatory cells like cytokines and interleukins can actually increase the melanin production. They stimulate melanocyte proliferation, they upregulate melanocyte production, and they increase the melanosome transfer. So this is why I'm always telling you to fight inflammation as much as you can, because it is not your friend, especially when you are fighting hyperpigmentation. Vitamin C can do this for you. So if you use the Alpha Arbutin and vitamin C from The Ordinary, you've truly got your bases covered. Super important to note, guys, alpha arbutin is dose dependent. Most of the literature shows that alpha arbutin is the most effective at 2.5 to 3%. Now, that can be hard to find over the counter. Alpha arbutin in The Ordinary's formulation is at 2%. However, it is combined with hyaluronic acid. And the way that they combined it with hyaluronic acid is to use HA, or hyaluronic acid, as a penetration enhancer, meaning that it actually helps to topically deliver the alpha arbutin more effectively to your skin. When we think of hyaluronic acid, we're always thinking of it as a way to help to hydrate the skin, as a humectant, good for moisturization. But did you know that hyaluronic acid is actually very good at increasing the penetration of the topical delivery of medications, especially here in this formulation? So you may hear low molecular weight, high molecular weight hyaluronic acid, and depending on the weight or the molecular Daltons that is chosen, it actually can increase the penetration of the medication. In this case, that is what The Ordinary has done with their hyaluronic acid. So The Ordinary is adding the addition of that hyaluronic acid in this formulation. It's actually making the alpha arbutin even more effective. So if you did watch my previous video, first, thank you. And if you purchased the JJ Labs skincare, know that you are covered, because not only does it have the tranexamic acid, it also has alpha arbutin, vitamin C, and vitamin E, in addition to other really great ingredients. So you've got the antioxidants, you've got the hyperpigmentation in there, and you've got the anti-inflammatory properties. One of the beautiful things about alpha arbutin is that it is not photosensitive in the same way as hydroquinone, meaning that you can apply this both day and night. Arbutin is extremely sensitive to degrading in the presence of water, meaning that it is water soluble, and it is happiest at a pH of 4.9. Of course, The Ordinary has nailed this as well. When you're using alpha arbutin or the gentle giant, make sure that you're not using a concentration that is too high. Sometimes everyone is kind of trying to outcompete each other by making their product have a concentration that is a little bit higher than its neighbors. But you don't need to use the highest concentration possible of every ingredient. Alpha Arbutin in all of the studies have shown that between 2.5 and 3% is significantly effective. So try and shoot for something around that percentage. If you're using a concentration that is too high, you can cause more irritation, inflammation, and then hyperpigmentation. You can actually get something called paradoxical hyperpigmentation, which is when your pigmentation is actually worsened by trying to actually treat your pigmentation. So if the ingredients that you use worsen your hyperpigmentation, you, my friend, may end up with paradoxical hyperpigmentation, which means you're just spinning your wheels. So you really want to choose products that are at a good and appropriate concentration, like this one from The Ordinary. Go slow, be patient, and know that with the right plan, your hyperpigmentation will indeed fade. So while Arbutin itself is a really important ingredient in fighting hyperpigmentation, it's actually usually found in combination with other ingredients that help to fight pigmentation. Okay, so just some final product recommendations. Obviously, I love The Ordinary. That's what most of this video has been about. At $9, I don't think you can beat such a simple and effective formulation. If you're looking for even more of a boost, you want to spend $1 more. At $10, you can get that Alpha Arbutin and the vitamin C from The Ordinary. If you're concerned about that tacky, sticky feeling, or if your makeup is peeling, you may want to consider the INKEY list for morning application at $12. And if you're not necessarily looking to include Alpha Arbutin all by itself in a serum, you actually can get it in a moisturizer. Sunday Riley has a Untitled Brightening Water Enzyme Cream at $22. All right, so let's talk about how to actually use Alpha Arbutin in your routine. The first thing you want to do is make sure that you're properly cleansing your skin. If you're not sure how to properly cleanse your skin or which cleanser would be the right one for you, check out my video on how to cleanse the skin and choosing the right cleanser. After you've cleansed your skin, you actually want to go ahead and either hydrate, so you can use like a thermal spring water or a hydrating essence, and then you want to treat. So you're going to treat yourself with the Alpha Arbutin in this case. Follow it up with a moisturizer, and of course, if it's daytime, make sure that you're using a broad spectrum and iron oxide sunscreen. So you're going to cleanse, hydrate, treat, moisturize, and sunscreen if it's the day. I actually don't like to do a bunch of steps, so I make sure that I use a very hydrating SPF, and so I really truly have 3 steps. I cleanse, I treat, and I moisturize. Now, if it is a day that you are going to be exfoliating your skin, and you guys know that I recommend exfoliation only 1, max 2 times a week. Let's say you're choosing a mandelic acid to exfoliate, then you're going to cleanse, exfoliate, treat, and moisturize. I hope that you guys enjoyed the video and learned something new about Alpha Arbutin. If so, please give it a thumbs up and make sure to subscribe and hit your notification bell so that you don't miss the next video in the hyperpigmentation series. Please comment below if you have any questions in regards to Arbutin or anything else that we've talked about so far in the hyperpigmentation series, or if there's something that you want to see me definitely include. Please just list it below and I will make sure to make the video for you guys. Until next time, be well.